You may head to Longhorn for the steak, but that Outlaw ribeye doesn't quite feel complete without a side of mac and cheese. Or maybe a loaded baked potato hits the spot instead. Here's how the chain's side dishes stack up, according to customer opinions. The rice pilaf at Longhorn Steakhouse hasn't exactly earned strong feedback, with complaints tending to center on two main issues. Some customers on Yelp have noted that it can come across as overly salty, while others have mentioned receiving it cold. While that could be chalked up to isolated experiences, the added saltiness raises a more consistent concern. Overall, even though rice pilaf can be a great side when done well, this version may be one to skip on a visit to Longhorn Steakhouse. While fairly simple, Longhorn's French fries are worth noting because they come with a signature seasoning. Marketed as natural cut fries dusted with prairie dust, they sound like they should pack a flavorful punch. In practice, though, customer feedback is more mixed. Many say the interior stays soft and fluffy, but the exterior can feel a bit limp, and the seasoning is hit or miss for some diners. The blend, often described in copycat versions as including spices like garlic and cayenne, doesn't appeal to everyone. Still, the biggest issue seems to be texture rather than flavor. Overall, the fries land in a fairly average spot. Not bad, but not especially memorable either. According to the menu, Longhorn's shrimp and lobster chowder includes shrimp and lobster, along with red bell peppers, corn, potatoes, and green onions in a rich, creamy soup base. It sounds hearty and appealing on paper. However, online reactions have been less enthusiastic than expected. Some diners feel it doesn't quite live up to its name, noting that the actual amount of shrimp and lobster can be pretty sparse compared to the other ingredients in the bowl.
Where's all the shrimp here? Where's all the shrimp?
Some diners also feel the flavor is fairly average and not really worth the price. On the other hand, at least one customer went online asking for the recipe, saying it was among the best soups they've had from a chain restaurant. With that kind of split reaction, it's clearly a divisive menu item. Still, it doesn't seem to match the popularity or consistency of Longhorn's French onion soup or loaded baked potato soup. A Caesar salad seems simple enough to judge, but at Longhorn, it draws such mixed reviews that it's hard to know what you'll actually get. Some guests say it arrives overly dry, to the point where they have to request extra dressing just to bring it together. Others report the opposite experience, describing it as practically drenched in Caesar dressing, almost soupy in consistency. Despite that inconsistency, the salad itself has the makings of a solid side. The safer move seems to be ordering the dressing on the side so you can control the amount yourself. Once balanced to your liking, the mix of Parmesan, croutons, and crisp lettuce can make it a pretty enjoyable pick. It's not that sweet potatoes themselves are the issue, but rather how they're prepared and presented that sometimes rubs people the wrong way. Online reviews for Longhorn's sweet potato side are generally positive, with many diners enjoying the combination of butter and cinnamon sugar, enhancing the potato's natural sweetness. That said, a few customers find it a bit overdone, noting that the cinnamon sugar can feel heavy-handed, making the dish overly sweet at times. Presentation is another point of debate. While the menu photos may show a polished version, real sweet potatoes naturally have a more rustic, less uniform look that doesn't always match expectations. Still, despite the visual quirks and occasional sweetness overload, the flavor itself tends to hold up well. A light, slightly sweet salad can be a refreshing contrast before, during, or after a rich steak meal, and Longhorn's strawberry pecan salad fits that role well. It features mixed greens with strawberries, pecans, mandarin oranges, grapes, and feta cheese, all finished with a raspberry vinaigrette. Even from the description alone, it leans sweet, though many who've tried it say it works as a pleasant break from the bolder flavors found in the restaurant's entrees and other sides. Upgrading the standard side salad to the strawberry pecan version typically costs just a small upcharge, and most reviewers agree it's a tasty option overall. That said, while enjoyable, it still doesn't quite stand out as much as some of the higher-ranked sides on the list. Well-made mashed potatoes can be surprisingly difficult to find, especially when compared to a good homemade version. While not the flashiest side on the menu, Longhorn Steakhouse's mashed potatoes are widely considered a solid option, often topped with real butter that melts through from top to bottom. Many reviewers praise them for tasting authentic and freshly made, especially compared to the instant-style versions served at some other chain restaurants. They're frequently described as rich and satisfying, but still fairly straightforward. There aren't any mix-ins like cheese, bacon, sour cream, or gravy to set them apart, which keeps them from feeling especially distinctive despite their strong flavor. Broccoli might not be the first thing you think of when ordering at a steakhouse. After all, it's a side many people can easily prepare at home, assuming they even enjoy it to begin with.
No matter how bad it gets, no matter how scary,
Nothing's as bad as broccoli.
nothing's as bad as broccoli.
However, it's worth noting that broccoli at Longhorn gets surprisingly strong praise on platforms like TikTok and Reddit. A big part of that appeal seems to come from the herb butter sauce drizzled over it. Despite being a simple vegetable side, it's often described as unexpectedly addictive and a great complement to a steak dinner. Some employees have even suggested that the exact ingredients in the herb butter aren't widely known, though hints of lemon and savory seasoning are sometimes mentioned. Either way, it tends to win over broccoli fans and works well alongside steak, chicken, or salmon. Still, compared to more indulgent or distinctive sides on the menu, it remains a fairly straightforward option rather than a standout. Asparagus is often one of those simple vegetables people might normally overlook, but Longhorn Steakhouse manages to give it a more appealing twist.
Asparagus? I thought you hate asparagus.
I thought so too.
Longhorn Steakhouse treats asparagus as another opportunity to elevate a simple vegetable. It's steamed and finished with a lemon butter sauce, which adds enough richness to make it feel more like a treat than a standard side. Many reviewers say it's cooked just right and pairs especially well with the restaurant's signature entrees. The portion size is also frequently noted as generous, with plenty of spears served on the plate. Overall, it's a surprisingly well-liked option for something so straightforward, earning it a solid place among the more popular Longhorn sides. Brussels sprouts often get a bad reputation as one of those vegetables many people tend to steer clear of.
Oh my God, it's Brussels sprouts!
That's worse than no food.
However, at Longhorn Steakhouse, the story seems to be very different. Plenty of reviews describe the Brussels sprouts as genuinely delicious, with some diners even calling them the best they've ever had. The restaurant's version is coated in a smoky honey butter that adds both sweetness and depth, while still keeping a satisfying crunch. That combination turns a traditionally unpopular vegetable into one of the more talked-about side dishes on the menu. If you're skeptical, it's one of those items that's probably worth trying firsthand. Some restaurants don't quite get loaded baked potatoes right, but Longhorn Steakhouse generally isn't one of them. The loaded baked potato is available as a side with any entree and comes fully stacked with toppings. It's typically layered with daisy sour cream, sharp yellow cheddar, and applewood smoked bacon, then finished with fresh green onions for a bit of color and brightness. Visually, it's appealing, and flavor-wise, it delivers a familiar, comforting combination that's hard to mess up. Some fans even call it the best baked potato in town. The sour cream adds a cool, tangy creaminess that blends well with the melted cheddar and smoky bacon, making it a rich, satisfying complement to a steak or other main dish. Longhorn's French onion soup is widely described as a flavorful take on a classic. It starts with a traditional beef broth base, but the details are what make it stand out. The soup is layered with seasoned croutons and topped with a blend of Swiss and provolone cheeses, then finished with a sprinkle of Parmesan and garlic for extra depth. Customer reviews consistently speak highly of it, with many calling it a standout menu item. Some diners even claim it's the best French onion soup they've had anywhere, while others agree it's an excellent choice for starting a meal and building appetite. Longhorn Steakhouse's loaded potato soup is another popular pick when it comes to side dishes. Even though it's technically a soup, it often works just as well as a starter or even a light meal on its own, and many customers say they're glad they ordered it. The soup is truly loaded with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, fresh green onions, and hearty chunks of potato. Some diners note that it's rich and filling enough to stand in as a full meal, so it's best ordered when you're especially hungry. Overall, it's frequently mentioned as one of the most praised items on the menu. One customer even said that while almost everything at Longhorn tastes good, the loaded potato soup is one of the few dishes that really goes above and beyond expectations. What could top a Steakhouse Mac and Cheese? One that's loaded with bacon and a Parmesan topping. Longhorn Steakhouse leans into this comfort food favorite with a version built for cheese lovers, combining 4 melted cheeses with tender pasta and finishing it off with applewood smoked bacon. To take it even further, it's topped with crispy Parmesan breadcrumbs for extra texture and flavor. Customer feedback is overwhelmingly positive, with many saying the mac and cheese is well worth the price. It's often praised for its creamy consistency and rich, cheesy profile, 2 things that define a standout mac and cheese. Overall, it's widely considered one of the more indulgent and satisfying sides on the menu.